Welcome to another episode of what American Hammers TV. Jesus Christ, I almost flubbed that one up. Yeah, long day today. I've got my first cup of Strava Craft here, so I'm a little tired, but trying to wake up. And there's a link in the description below, and also for these fancy mugs that we have here, you can click on drinkwaredesign.com and make your own. And the people who make these, I know for a fact that one of the co-founders is a West Ham supporter, so out of Texas. So that'll be good if you can, you know, pick up a mug. You can put your own logo on it. You can put "I love Wayne" on it. You can put "I love Lee" or whatever you want. You know, I got a couple of those on order. You know, but other than that, I do have a message right here.
Please like and subscribe and put notifications on if you want to see when the videos first come out.
Thanks, Max. Too close to the mic, but yeah. All right, that's my boy Max. He's been modeling our American Hammers TV shirts that are for sale at bonfire.com/AHTV-2. That's the new link because we have a new design and new V-necks and children's t-shirts in there, as well as all the other old good stuff, but new design. Anyway, Steve, man, you've watched the show before. It was a pleasure to have you on finally. And
thank you.
We're trying to get some more guests on that that watch the show and know the show. So that should be fun. But how on earth did you get into West Ham to begin with? Were you born into it, or what's your story?
Yeah, I had no choice. I was born into it. Mum's side of the family are all EastEnders. Dad's side of the family not into sport at all. So
yeah, with me, where I grew up, how do I put it? It wasn't until I was about 6. My dad's side of the family, I guess, both my sides of the family are really into sports, but obviously we're from here and not over there. But my dad, when I was 6 years old, told me, I'll never forget this. He said, pick a team in each sport. It doesn't matter, if they're the home team or not. Just like you find the team that calls you and follow them through and through, for the rest of your life. And of course, I picked some real shitty ones back then for American sports anyway. Because when I was growing up in America, it was the four major sports. Baseball.
I know the feeling, Tim. Look.
There you go. Yeah. So it was Tampa Bay Buccaneers for me because I love the creamsicle orange uniforms and the pirate with the knife in his mouth. I thought that was really cool. But they were the worst team in the league for years and years and years, pretty much until they changed the colors. But that attracted me, and similar to the Montreal Expos is another team. So I'm from Massachusetts, so those are not teams that you would typically follow. But then obviously when the Expos went away, I ended up following the Red Sox. But it wasn't until I grew up, until I matured a bit and realized that my favorite sport is football, like English football, and not just English football, but I mean like literally from the Essex County Sunday League all the way up to the Premier League. I love English football top to bottom. I love the setup. I love the structure. I love how teams can fold or go into administration, and then Phoenix clubs can come back like Hereford or Rushden and Diamonds and clubs like that, and then work their way back up. I think that's fantastic, and so there's a lot to love about English football. But what got me with West Ham is that the Hammers. I mean, it just stood out to me first and foremost, and then the colors. Obviously, I'm obsessed with the the colors and the the badge. So me being the obsessive compulsive person I am, I dove right into it and learned as much as I possibly could about the history of the club, and realized that got some family in Romford, so I was like, that's a perfect fit. So anyway, long story short, that's that. So how'd you get into the Chargers?
My wife is from San Diego.
Oh, you must be a Padres fan too, then.
Yeah, I do like the Padres, although baseball's a tough watch.
It is a tough watch, man. It's a nice experience to go to a game because just the smell of the food and the atmosphere and it's okay, but sitting there and watching on TV is like a never thing. Can never do that.
Yeah, and the game that was just on at the London Stadium, I had it on for 1 innings, and that was enough.
yeah, that I couldn't believe. Yeah, the Yankees were crushing them the first game anyway, in the first inning alone. But yeah, so growing up, did you play football as a kid?
Only at school, and I wasn't very good. Wasn't very good at football at all. I was more of a hockey man, believe it or not.
Really? Is hockey big over there?
Not particularly. It's played in schools. From school, I went straight into the army, and I played it there. I like playing hockey because they actually give you a weapon to use.
Yes, exactly. It's like football on ice with sticks.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Well, when I say hockey, of course, I mean field hockey, not ice hockey.
Oh,
yeah,
field hockey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's like in America. I think maybe in the last few years they've allowed boys to actually play it again. I mean, it was primarily a girls' sport, but then when I was in high school, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
There was one kid in my class, one boy in my class that ended up fighting to get onto the girls' team. So he was obviously he ended up being a superstar. He ended up being a superstar for many reasons.
Yeah.
A guy being on the girls' team, that was kind of cool, and he was dominating. It was fantastic. But I got in the papers and everything, and on the news channels. It was crazy. But unfortunately, that's just one of those things where I don't know the reasons why, but over here, it wasn't really it wasn't allowed for boys to play it for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's daft.
So let's get into this. We got to mention our friends over at Hammer's Polls. They got a bunch of polls for us to go through today. The first one being Reese Oxford. Now, would you give him a second chance?
No.
No.
He since that initial burst onto the scene that he hasn't really done anything, has he? He hasn't set the world on fire at all.
No, and I really don't remember him setting the world on fire at all.
He went to Germany and sort of just disappeared into the background.
Yeah, he even played in the second division over there at one point as well. I mean, he didn't really stand out. But my issue with him is that he just never beefed up. Playing defense, especially like a center back role, that's something you want to be strong, right?
Yeah.
And that's also my issue with Diaw. Like, I love Diaw. He's a monster, but he's gonna get hurt if he doesn't put some meat on his bones. You know what I mean? Because he's aggressive, and you clank bone on foot or bone on shin or whatever, he'll break something. I'm really that's one of the things I was thinking. So the poll so far has 386 votes over there on Hammer's Polls on Twitter, and 55% say no, he does not deserve one more chance.
No.
But 45% do. I think that's just the loyalists, really.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, plus he was
maybe it's also maybe some people doing the typical West Ham thing. Give him another chance, he'll come good.
Yeah. Speaking of, I might as well go to that other one then. God, Payet. What about Payet? Would you have him back? Yes or no?
No. No. Snaky little. And he's getting on as well. Was he now 32?
Yeah, he's 32.
And
so
I think yes, yeah, but he's been a constant, hasn't he, Mark Noble? Payet went up and he peaked.
That's true.
That year he was with us, and then
I've never seen anything like it. I've hit that 2015-16 season. I've never seen a performance like that from anybody. That was just fantastic. His free kick skills, and the excitement and just everything about it. So obviously it hurt really bad when he left, and I don't think anyone really will 100% forgive him. Even those who say they'll have him back, I don't think they'll ever really.
Yeah, no, I would. Him leaving, I would put that right up there with Paul Ince for snakiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was a different situation, but the you know the shittiness of it was equal, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you go to many matches that season? Do you go to how many matches? How many matches do you go to a season, really, on average?
At the moment, I go to almost every home game.
Do you ever go to any away matches?
No,
No.
no,
See,
no.
that's
Shift
what
worker, so I don't have the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that we're hoping to do this year. The American Hammers is get a huge group of people to fly over there for about 10 days and
I,
catch in March and catch Arsenal away and then Wolves at home.
I need to talk to you about that as well.
That's it was either that or Wolves home, Tottenham away, but then the consensus on our end was that it would be almost impossible to get tickets for Tottenham away versus Arsenal away, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I think that it depends how many you're after, because they're both are going to be a tough ask, aren't they?
yeah, that's true. No, it's true. It all depends on the allotment. I don't know how they work. I don't know how it would work yet, really. I mean, right now, I mean, it looks like 14, but at the same time, we just started the discussion, so it could grow. It could get up to 40. I don't know. You know, we might even have to, you know, get a group discount on a private, not private, but like a a jetliner or something. But yeah, no, it's a plan, and yeah, we've got a lot of we've met a lot of cool people over there so far that said that they would help us out with a ticket here or a ticket there, or at least even yeah, just helping us out with it in one way or shape or form, and helping us or assisting us in the process of actually getting away tickets, because we don't know what the hell that's like, but we hear it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite match this season that you attended? This last season?
My favourite match, I know my least favourite. I don't know about my favourite, but my least favourite was the bloody Everton game.
Yes.
The one time my brother came with me, I told him he's a Jonas. He can't come anymore.
Yeah, that was we've discussed it on the show before, but that was the match that NBC Sports had, that little fan festival in Boston that we went to.
I saw your videos, and Lee playing football in the street with the kids.
Oh yeah, no, he had a great time. The kids had a great time, but yeah, I know it was miserable. Other than that, and there was a lot more opportunity. We missed a lot of an opportunity to film, because we were just so miserable. We were just sitting there with our arms crossed like this, all pissed off because the Everton fans are so snarky, and our team was playing like shit. So it was probably, I would say, one of the worst performances of the season as a whole. It's right up there with Cardiff. I mean, that's what a lot of people were telling us, that it's either one or the other when we asked them what's the worst match of the season, because those two are damn close. Because there was no way in hell on paper we should have destroyed Cardiff away, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And but the Everton match, I mean, that was Pellegrini's fault with that lineup, starting Obiang and Perez. I mean, that just made no sense from go before the game even started. What else do we have here? So, what is your match day experience like? So, what do you typically do? Yeah,
it's a bit it's not as mad as a lot of people do, because I'm a season ticket holder, but the friend that I go with, he's registered disabled.
Just so everyone knows, there's a little issue, technical issue, and good time to take a shot or grab another refreshment. We will be right back with you momentarily. So how you guys like the new shirt? Anybody? I thought Skype was the issue. I think I'm the issue. See if I can get him back in here. Yeah, Gary, it was a birthday present I had from the wife and kids. They got me a little bit of spending money for the club shop, so they told me to go ahead and do that. And I made sure I grabbed those. Plus, I picked up on clearance last year's third kit. You're right, Gary. I just, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but I feel naked without the sponsor on there. I feel like I don't know. I just feel naked without it. Yeah, Matt, I do have the away one. I wore it on yesterday's interview with Dom. But,
Was that you or me?
You froze up, and then your picture went black, and then I kicked you out so I could bring you back in.
Cool. Sorry about that.
That's all good. So you have a friend that you go to the away matches with. I'm sorry, the home matches with, and
yeah, he's registered disabled, so I'm his carer. So the two of us go on. It's it's his ticket plus a carer.
Okay.
Yeah. And he calls himself the Raspberry.
God.
So yeah, he can't walk very fast, and so basically all we do is take a slow stroll up there, and just have a couple of drinks in the ground, or we have a couple of times been on Gio's boat.
Oh, right on. How was that experience like?
Great fun.
Yeah.
They're fantastic vibe down there on the boat. It is so friendly and so welcoming.
That's what they say. See, that's the thing. I've only heard from them, really, from each of them, that how awesome and friendly it is. I haven't had anybody on that's actually been on the boats. So yeah, I was curious. That's cool.
The first time I ever met Gio, I walked straight up to him and said, "Gio, hi," and he instantly stopped talking to the people he was talking with, and spent 10 minutes talking to me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hear a lot of great things about him about that. Yeah, and even the other guys too. I guess Gonzo and Charlie and Tom. They're very approachable.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that the West Ham Fan TV guys are also very approachable. I didn't have an opportunity to meet the Hammers Chat guys when I was over there. I saw them from a distance, but I didn't actually get to speak with them. But the West Ham Fan TV guys I did talk to, and again, just the same, very approachable. They'll say hi right back to you. Yeah. So
I played a blinder on Ryan.
Yeah.
I can't remember the game now. Was it the Spurs game when it was his birthday? And they were doing the fan cams afterwards.
Yeah.
And I saw him in the distance, and I just went strolling right up to him like I had a. And he saw me coming, and he, as I was getting closer and closer, he was like, and I got right up close to him, and he went, "Yes, mate," and I went, "Happy birthday."
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. So we're again talking about the our little trip over to London.
Yeah.
His coffee hasn't worked yet. I'm woo. I need a good kick from this Strava crap. But anyway, we're planning on doing something where we do the boats first before the match, and then we hang out with the other lads after, wherever they go now, because I know they used to go to Cart and Horses and Queen's Head, but Cart and Horses is no longer. I think that's what I heard. But yeah, I mean that was the plan for at least the home match. I don't know what we're gonna do about the away match where everybody meets up to travel and all that stuff. But we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, so what do you do? You still hang around after the match? You guys go straight home?
Go straight home.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's. I mean I know. I mean if I can't picture doing that all the time like I did it, but when I was there, I made sure couple hours before the match and a couple hours after the match, just hung out with as many people that were willing to. And there was a lot of
it's getting a lot better. We got the new. It's not a fan zone; it's a fan area, if you like, with the bar and the stage on top of it.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's quite good. And they're doing bits like that to try and improve the match day experience. So with things like that, and then you've got, like I say, the Hammers Chat boats.
Yeah,
there is plenty of scope there to make more a day of it than just going to the match and coming home afterwards.
Because that's certainly what we're gonna do. I mean, that's what we want. I mean, we want to make it last because who knows the next time we're gonna come over again. That's the idea. Yeah, and you're right. I guess there would be plenty a lot to do. I know there was some people talking about checking out the supporters club, and then you got Gary over here on the chat saying you need to check out the bars in Hackney Wick. Before the game. I mean, there's some good ones over there and good beers. So,
that's the opposite direction to me. I come up from the south.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I come from the wrong side of the river.
I went over the wrong side of the river, and I made it over to where Charlton play, and I got to take a look at the stadium, and man, it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I walked around that neighborhood a bit. I just try to stay away from Millwall.
I drive past Charlton Stadium every day at work.
Yeah.
4 or 5 times that way and 4 or 5 times that way a day.
I like the setup. I mean, I like the fact that it's in a neighborhood, kind of. I kind of missed that, I guess, or not missed that. I never actually went to the Bull Inn, but I mean, I missed out big time, and I regret that to this day that I never got to go over to the Bull Inn. But Lee did, and Lee, loves the experience. He loved the experience, and he's looking forward though to going over with us. So Lee will be going, Wayne will be going, and we're gonna try to get a bunch of guests that were on our show over there. Real quick, I just want to mention some dudes in the chat room. And Dudette, I guess you'd say. So we got Hightown Hammer in there. Thank you, brother. Matt Howard. I don't think I've noticed you in here before, but thanks for joining in, man. Gary Smithhurst. Gary is, he's been on the chat room quite a bit, actually. So I appreciate you, brother. Dan Lawless's mom, I believe, is on here. Penny. Hi, Penny. From West Ham Fan TV. And, we got miss anybody? I don't think. Oh, Jason. What's up, Jason? I see Jason everywhere. I see him in the chat room with Hammers Chat, and also now that West Ham Fan TV are doing more live videos,
I've seen
Jason in there too. So thanks, Jason, for checking it out.
Is Gabe not in the live chat?
Gabe, no excuse because he's not at school.
Young Gabe, where are you, fella?
And Wally too. Well, Wally was probably working. I don't know what the deal is, but him and Wally, man, literally. I mean, I think almost every single episode for both of them. I know that they've each missed a couple, but they can't keep up. Man, we've been putting out too much.
I know that's the trouble, and obviously over here as well, a lot of them are popping up in the middle of the night. I have no chance of seeing any of them live, and unless I'm finishing work and I'm just getting home from work at 2 a.m. That's the only way I can catch one of you.
How did you discover us?
How did I discover you? I was watching, I can't remember, it was either Hammers Chat or West Ham Fan TV. And I don't always have it full screen. I sometimes, just have it up in the corner. And you know how you get the selections on YouTube, videos you may like?
Yep.
You popped up in there.
No way. Yeah. See, I have no idea because...
Yeah, I clicked it, liked it, subscribed.
Remember which one it was?
I think it was either your third or fourth one.
Oh God. And you still
Yeah.
stuck around. Good for you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Oh God, man. You know, and this is also, I think, only the second time I've ever hosted by myself, and that's I'm sorry, Steve.
No, that's fine.
It's I'm used to, you know, these long pauses where I can just like chill out for a second and focus on the chat room or focus on something else and let the other
Yeah.
person talk. Especially
Yeah.
Lee and Wayne, man, they can talk. So
Wayne can, yeah. I did tell Wayne on one of the videos. No, was it on? Might have been on Facebook actually. Anyway, I told Wayne that him in particular, but the Dallas Hammers look absolutely mental, and I want to come over and watch a game with the Dallas Hammers.
yeah,
That looks like it would be a riot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the match I went to, it was the worst weather, and I think that had an effect on the numbers. There was about 22 maybe people, which is still comparative to the. If you're thinking about all those supporters groups in the country, I mean that's big numbers, and then they average, you know, usually about 40 or 50 on a big match or a big event or a big day, you know. So that was it was still great, 100%. I met some awesome people, and also because of the show, I asked a couple of the guys from, you know, the Alamo City Hammers to come on up, and they did. You know, I get to meet them, a guy that I interviewed like, you know, 3 episodes before. So that was an experience, you know, and just awesome people. And the Dallas Hammers have been nothing but super cool to me. You know, one of the guys that co-founded Drinkware Designs is a Dallas Hammer, you know.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
So that was a huge thing for us. And no, they're just great. And the place that they McSwiggins, where they go,
Yep.
it's top notch. I mean, I think I had like 6 cups of coffee. I think that day because it was the morning, man. You know, it was a morning match against Man United, and I drank like I think 6 cups of coffee. It was the best coffee I ever had, aside from Strava Craft. Sorry, Strava.
Of course. Aside from Strava.
Yeah. No, the best bar coffee I've ever had.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Best coffee I've ever had in the bar.
So why weren't you drinking?
It was 10 o'clock in the morning, man.
So why weren't you drinking?
Oh man, yeah, no.
You know, you don't have to have beer. There are other things you can have for breakfast.
6 o'clock flight the next morning, you know, which means I'd have to be there at 3 a.m. I mean, and I have to go back to work the next day, you know, when I did arrive. So there was many reasons, but I had you know, the best part is, Steve, is that I didn't have to. And I had a fantastic time. I had one of the best times I've ever had.
Excellent.
Seriously. So, you know, there's other groups that would love to go. And I think that you should, you know, consider as well if you're ever over here on any vacation at all. And, you know, back say in California, man, I hear the Los Angeles Hammers are a great time. And
Really?
oh yeah. And I know San Diego's numbers have dwindled over time, but they're still there and they're still trying. And I know that at one point they actually even merged with LA for a short period and did Orange County Hammers, you know, and met somewhere in the middle, which is kind of cool that they tried, but it didn't work out. So now they went back to where they are. And if you go further up into Fresno, California, I think Fresno, so let's get this out here. New York is probably the largest group in the country. Okay. They're probably the largest group. So that's in my head a given. That's why I never usually mention them. I mean, they're your first group and also the largest group. So if you're ever in New York City, obviously check them out. I would say Dallas would be probably second when it comes down to numbers, and then I would say Fresno would be like third, and that's close though to like LA and, you know, Denver and Mile High Hammers. They get decent numbers too, like plus 10. So when I say decent numbers, I'm thinking plus 10. You know, to me that's a great time. You know, even 4 or 5 other guys with West Ham shirts. That's a great time.
Especially if it's guys that have never been out of the USA or have never been to the UK before.
Exactly. And I think, I don't know, I think it's really cool that, you know, that a lot of these people, I mean, we've been trying to get these people to come over here too and say, you know, we had a couple, not we, I'm sorry, Dwayne had a website called American Ironworks that, you know, had a list. So basically anybody from overseas was coming over. You got like either a Facebook page you could like click on to talk to the Denver Hammers, Chicago Hammers, whoever Hammers, wherever you're visiting. So you can see that there's someone there and then link up with them, and then they'd be more than happy to say, hey, you know, we'll be here at this match day and come check it out. Yeah, and then I don't know what happened to that. So basically, we're taking all that information that he collected, and we're going to be putting it up on our website. So
Excellent.
That, people can see, because there's still a lot of these. I can't say a lot. I'd say about a handful of these groups just are not into recruitment or social media. They're just having a good time. But there's a group there. You know, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, you know, that drink every single match day, but they don't necessarily, you know, care about the social media aspect or the growth aspect. So there's some of those out there. Gary asks real quick, where's the best place to watch in Boston? There's a lot of great places to watch in Boston. If you want guaranteed, you know, someone there to drink with, I guess they drink at the Banshee in Dorchester, which is a suburb of Boston. But for us, like me and Lee, like we live up in Lowell, which is like half an hour, 40 minutes north of Boston. We're gonna try to find a place this year up near us where we can be by ourselves and not have Chelsea supporters or Manchester United supporters.
Yeah.
As well.
How far are you from Woburn?
About 25 minutes, but it's just where Woburn is that no matter what time of day you go there's going to be traffic. And so you're talking what should be a 25-minute drive, which probably is at 2 or 3 in the morning. You know, once you hit 5 or 6 in the morning, yeah, it's a nightmare. So you're talking about half an hour, 45 minutes. I've actually looked at a bunch of jobs. There's a lot of jobs down there in Woburn. But why, you know people in Woburn?
Yeah. Wife's son and his family.
Are they West Ham supporters?
No, they are through and through patriots.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I always say, you know what? I'm happy for the home teams over here, but I'm not a Patriots supporter. I'm shamefully a Bucs supporter. But anyway.
So going back to when you bring the invasion over for did you say the Wolves game and the Arsenal game, or the Wolves game and the Spurs game?
Yeah.
What are your plans? Not match day.
That's well, obviously to take one day we got to go to Barking Road and go around and you know, where this bowling used to be, and get our picture, group photo in front of the statue, if it's still there by the time we get there. I know there was a lot of talk about them moving it. That's like automatic a one day thing, and I guess the rest just I don't know, no idea. I guess we'll keep that up in the air.
I'll sort something out. I'll take you all for a pub crawl up in the city.
That would be great.
That they were pubs that were introduced.
I think we lost you again, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So we lost you after pub crawl?
Yeah. The pubs were introduced to me by my dad. He was a Metropolitan Police officer for nearly 30 years.
Wow.
And these pubs are actually older than your country.
That's awesome. See, I love that. That's what I love. I love history, man.
Yeah.
So
all you know, there's so much character to these places.
Yeah.
And there's one in particular. It's small and uneven, and you have to sort of, you know,
awesome.
It's like this, and then you go down into different levels, and we'll sort something out. I'll take
definitely.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we need to. So I know for a fact that the only thing that we really have planned is that we've researched. There's 3 different Airbnbs that are walking distance to London Stadium that are like 7 and 8 bedrooms.
Right.
So just in case we get more than, X amount of people, we'll have an opportunity to not have to pay, out our wazoo for, hotels and stuff like that. And even group rates on hotels are not as cheap as Airbnb.
No.
And then we'd have the whole place to ourselves. So places to ourselves, and within walking distance stadium would be great. But then the whole logistics of the away day, we don't know yet. But that's the point. Is we have some time. I mean, we'd like to wrap this up in a couple months and get this plan all straightened out. But yeah, that's so people who are watching, if you're still with us, we have a discussion open in our Discord app, and there's a channel there that says American trip to London. So that's where
I've commented on it. I suppose I should have told you all.
I didn't know that was you right off the bat.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it. I just I play a lot of online poker. And I automatically just stuck for some reason that name that I use on there.
Yeah.
Onto the Discord as my username.
I don't even know how to use it, man. I just threw that up there. I only used it because, just like you said, it wasn't online poker for me, but I played this money sucking Game of Thrones game, and if you wanted to get all this free stuff, you had to join a clan. In order to join the clan, you had to join the Discord app and stay present. And so you can get like free stuff, and I'm like, son of a bitch. So I said, I ended up saying, fuck it.
I'd never heard of the app before, but having signed up to it, it's actually very good with being able to break it down into all the different.
It is cool. Yeah. No, I'm happy with it. So basically, how this whole thing started for us was that, so we kept getting questions about starting a WhatsApp. And I'm like, I don't like WhatsApp. I mean, for whatever reason, me personally, I didn't care for it. And since I'm the one that has to set the stuff up, I said, you know what? I did use Discord, and it kind of does the same type of thing. But it doesn't have your regular phone number out there, your personal. So, I think we'll try this first. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then we'll end up doing a WhatsApp group, I guess. But, I just have this one gripe against, WhatsApp that I'll never forgive, which was my wife goes to a gym, and she brought me to the same gym, and they have this WhatsApp group, and the group just kept growing and growing and growing. And then I didn't even go into the damn app to, check it at all. And then the one day I go into the app and check it, I didn't know this, but by default, all the images that anybody posts in that thread automatically gets downloaded to your phone. So I had 2,300 images from that group from the one time I opened it, and I had to go in, I had to delete all of them, and it was just a pain in my ass. So I said, you know what? I don't like this. I'm out. So I stayed away from WhatsApp. All right. So let's just, I want to get to a couple of questions in the chat room while we're here.
Okay.
While my brain's there anyway. Well, Matt says he would sell Oxford as he hasn't done anything and has not shown the right attitude.
Yeah.
That's going back to the Oxford thing. And, Lee has said the same thing about his attitude.
Or is that his manager, his agent, doing that to him?
Yeah.
Because he's got a really, really shit agent, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The same dude says, Matt Howard, thanks for watching, man. No to Payette, he's a snake, not as good as he was. Yeah, we're pretty much all unanimous on that, really. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to reminisce, of the crazy stuff that he did for us. Someone also mentioned, I think it was Gary, said that the Wolves at home was right up there with Cardiff away, and Everton at home as the poorest match of the season. There was another one in here. There's a lot of people chatting. I appreciate that, guys. I really like to see this. Kevin Grimm from Columbus E13 had popped in, and he said, "Wow, a pub crawl with Mothersole, awesome." So yeah, and Gary Smithhurst says he would quite fancy tickets to Fenway as well. Now, Fenway tickets are almost as crazy as getting a friggin', West Ham ticket. It's crazy. It's and not only that, once you start winning championships and stuff, your tickets go up. Yeah,
Yeah.
even for the shit seats in Fenway, like it's one of those deals where Fenway is like one of those pubs you were talking about, where it's almost as old as the country. No, it's really not, but it's definitely the oldest stadium is still played at, and yet they still have these posts that you have to sit behind, and the seats are like as big as my head, and they're this painfully, I don't know how you say it, man. It's wood and it hurts and it's tight. So if you're slightly overweight, like, I don't know, if you're slightly overweight, it would really hurt really bad. And also the posts, man, you get obstruction, and the tickets are the same price as 3 seats away from you that has a perfect view. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. And then there's also standing room there. So I don't know. Fenway kind of sucks. I mean, the atmosphere is kind of cool, and just to see it for once, I guess that would be cool. But again, baseball isn't the most exciting sport to watch. But I know it's just a once in a lifetime thing. Absolutely, go do it. Also, go to Wrigley out in Chicago.
My missus, she used to love going to the baseball, especially with the kids.
Yeah, the kids have a great time. I mean, for whatever reason, the kids have a blast.
And the clubs do all kinds of silly things to keep everybody interested, don't they? Like they do hat day and shirt day, and
no, definitely. I took my son this year. It was like the first Red Sox game I've been to in like 3 seasons, and I didn't pay for the tickets. I would not do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I would have chosen to do, but for my son, I said, you know what? My wife won tickets, so she said, you take Max, and I went, and me and Max had a great time just being together in Boston at the stadium. Yeah. We didn't even pay attention to the game. We walked around the whole concourse, back and forth, check out all the different types of food. All he wanted was sunflower seeds, and they didn't fucking sell any in the whole place. They had peanuts and everything else, and they used to sell sunflower seeds. I don't know, someone might have choked on one or something. They stopped. They banned them. That's usually what happens in baseball. But anyway, no, it was still a great time being with the kid, and he loved it, and I loved being with him there. But the game, I don't even know who won, to be honest with you. So that's the other thing. So what kind of supporter are you when you actually go to the match for West Ham? So are you vocal, you sing, you chant, or you just sit there? I mean, like me and Lee, we talk about it all the time, where we're studious. We're more like we're watching what's going on. I mean, when they score, we cheer and we sing, but we're not just, we're watching the game,
Yeah, that's pretty much us. It can get a little rowdy around us because where Gio and Ryan and all the nutters are. I think Gio, when he was speaking to you, called it Chav Corner.
Yeah.
We're in the section behind them, so we're up a level from them. So where they're all standing up whole game, we're sat down because we're that bit higher behind them. So it sort of spreads up from them, and it can get a bit leery up there sometimes, but not much.
Yeah.
So we tend to just more sit and watch the game. You get the odd, sort of come on you irons or bubbles coming round, which you'll join in with, but it's not it's not hardcore like them nutters down there.
Yeah, I think it was Gio that was saying that there's the bubbles will like die off like from section to section, or will be out of sync. They still
In front of us, they'll be forever blowing bubbles, and we'll hear in our right ear like they fade and die, and in our left ear we'll be hearing "Come on, you irons." So it's almost like we need like a band leader or something to sort of get everybody in sync.
Yeah, no, maybe. I just think I don't know. I think that they're still hopefully they're still trying to figure out how to organize the sections, and I hope that people also are aware of that are there. That hey, I might be in the wrong section. I need to figure out a way to switch my ticket over to the other section, and I hope that West Ham would make that easy for them.
It's sorted itself out. The first year was horrible.
Yeah, I mean that's what everyone said. Yeah. Everybody, literally. They said it was complete. It was embarrassing. is the word they usually say.
But a lot of people through social media sorted it out themselves, and a lot of people did it sort of through the club. So it's taken sort of the next 2 years, but it's getting there. You are starting to see. We've got like sort of three main rowdy. It's getting there. I think as well, when they straighten off the seats, it'll be interesting to see if that makes any difference or not. When they're going to straighten it off on each end.
Yeah. No, and I hope they do that. I think that would make a huge difference, but I don't know what the urgency is. I mean, I don't know what their urgency is. I don't know if there is any, to get that done. But that would make, I don't know, in my opinion, it would make a huge difference. But again, who's going to get the tickets? Who's getting dibs on who sits where, and they change that all around.
Well, I think the seats are all going to be the same, but instead of being curved around like that, they're just all going to be flattened off. I don't think
it's going to be any. It wouldn't be.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
All right. Dan Mothersole.
Oh no! Yeah. Dan, no, you did this to me live on national television. Don't do it again.
He said, "Yeah, right. You can be loud, perhaps." LOL. That's all.
He embarrassed me big time. Before.
Yeah, talk about that. What happened?
There was a show on Channel 5 called The Right Stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, the format is the host, 3 guests, a very small studio audience. They talk about current affairs, news topics, and people phone up and give their opinions on things. So we went on their website, got a couple of tickets because we used to really like the show. And the host's moved on. It's a different host now. But when it was Matthew Wright, his name was, we went up there because we really liked him. And all of a sudden, the co-host read out this email from Daniel. Totally took me by surprise. The camera spun round right on my face as I'm looking all shocked and doing a Mr. Bean impression. And yeah, so of course that got recorded off the TV and went on Facebook and everything. And
what did he say?
Huh?
What did he say? What was the
the subject that they were talking about? Was called. Oh God, I can't remember what the subject was called, but it was basically about parents that were still calling their grown children their babies or their and it doesn't matter. He's 28 now and he's a great big lump. he's still my little boy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's big. He's bigger than me, and he could probably knock me into the middle of next week now. But he's still my little boy. So
he says it's the best surprise he's ever done. That's what he says on the chat room.
Yeah, and I still haven't forgiven him.
He says he actually says, "Don't call me baby mummy."
That was it. That was what it was called. Yeah. Don't call me baby mummy. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Though that's. Yeah. It's something you'll never forget, That's still fun. We have Gary in there saying it seemed to work well, and the atmosphere was electric, and they were further from the pitch with us. Oh, he's talking about he went to Lazio, and they had a guy down the front with a megaphone leading and coordinating the chanting. He said it seemed to work well, and the atmosphere was electric, and they're further away than us.
Yeah,
away from pitch, so.
Are they allowed to drink on the terraces at Lazio?
That's a good one. I don't know, Gary.
Because I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I can remember back in the day, back when we were stood on the terraces, we actually had a bar on the North Bank.
Yeah, Gary says no.
Oh no, they don't. No. Yeah. But they're still lunatics, though, aren't they? They've got all their flags and their flares.
The flares, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of the flares. I'm definitely not a fan of drums. If you've ever watched the episode, you'll know I can't stand drum corps and drum lines and all that drum shit, and really gets me upset.
Crystal Palace have got a drum.
Yeah, and that's funny because everybody tells me that's the one place that's the reason why everyone tells me to go to Selhurst for an away match.
And
those snarky bastards.
Yeah, their first game when they came to us at London Stadium, they bought the fucking drum with them, and our seats are at the same end of the ground as the away fans. They're over there in that corner, and we're in this corner, and that fucking drum. Seriously,
yeah.
I just wanted to go over there, find it, and shove it right up.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. It really makes me cringe. And also here in America, and I know they don't do it over in Italy. I know Italy's just about flares, and that's it can get dangerous, especially when you got those giant flags like the 25 feet by 40 feet flags where people are underneath, and the flares get under there. I mean, number one, I mean, yeah, people can burn. I mean, that's one thing, but secondly, that's got to be like not safe. The
fumes.
smoke inhalation and whatnot. I mean, that's dangerous. You're trying to kill your own fans, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
They're Italian.
Okay, yeah,
they're mad.
They're mad. All right, we're gonna head into quick fire. Wayne came up with these questions.
Yes.
Wayne McMullen, and I got the right ones here all ready for you. So it's quick fire. You can explain if you want, but you don't have to explain. You can just answer. Okay. First one is Irish coffee or hot toddy?
Irish coffee.
Awesome. Favorite goal you ever saw West Ham score? And I'm assuming it can be on television or in person. Whichever one.
It's got to be Di Canio's, surely.
That's my favorite. That's my personal favorite. Yeah. And I showed that to my son the other day, and now he can't stop watching Paolo Di Canio highlights on YouTube.
Fantastic.
Which is, I'm proud of him about that. Apple pie or meat pie?
Meat pie. There's a where my dad lives down in Dorset. There's a small village down there, and one of their local butchers they home make steak pies and chicken and ham pies, and every time I go down there, I bring some back because they are that good.
That sounds delicious, man.
Man, so great big chunks of
When I was there, I didn't have any when I was there. I did have pie and mash on Barking Road, and I can't remember even the name of the fucking place, but I had some, and it really was not like wow, but it was just no, this is traditional, and it's what I like. Just to say I had it, but anyway. On that note, real quick, I got to do a little sidetrack so I don't forget later on. I already forgot in the beginning of the show. We do have something going on our website where on social media, if you can find us on social media, please send us a message if you have any recipes from, it could be, it doesn't have to be East London exactly, but just if you're a West Ham supporter from London and you've got some family recipes that are traditional, London recipes, please send them to us. We're trying to compile them all. We've already had quite a few different ones, which is really neat, sent to us, and we're going to try to compile them and put a page dedicated on there, and we're going to put photoshopped. We're going to Photoshop Gary's face and make a little page for him. East End cuisine there. So please do that. All right, next one. A word that makes you happy.
Ellie. That's my granddaughter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's 4 years old.
I have 4 years old, huh? Yeah. How old's your kid?
28.
Do you have more than one kid, or is it just
no, just Daniel. He's 28. Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old Max. Max will be 11 soon, and then Mia has also popped on the show with me. She popped on my lap once. She's gonna be 5 in a couple days.
Fantastic age, isn't it?
Yeah, she's awesome. They're both awesome. They're both just the coolest, and obviously, your kid is always the coolest. Favorite curse word?
Bollocks.
Bollocks. You know what? I haven't heard that one yet on the show, and I like that one.
It's very versatile.
Yeah. I mean, Fuck comes up a lot because of its versatility.
Yeah.
And see you next Tuesday comes up a lot too.
Yeah.
But not bollocks yet. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was that. I used bollocks so much that when Daniel, 26 odd years ago, when Daniel was a baby in his high chair, he'd heard me saying it so much that he'd sit in his high chair, pick his spoon up, drop it on the floor, and then just look at me and go, bollocks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, see that's something that you should have filmed, man. And I know 2016
Yeah.
ago, who knows what kind of filming you could have done, but yeah,
I know.
that would have been viral, man. That's awesome. All right, so a team you love to beat more than any other team.
The Raiders.
We've heard Alabama. We've heard Raiders. Right.
But talking about football, it's got to be Spurs, hasn't it? Spurs or United,
Yeah.
but probably Spurs.
I think most everyone, yeah, the football team, everyone is Spurs. You know, I guess you'd love to beat them. I mean, I'm surprised no one says Millwall because, well, shit, we don't even play them anymore ever. But don't we hate them more than Tottenham?
I think we used to.
Yeah. So you think that? Yeah.
Yeah,
You think that's gone, really? I mean, so basically,
yeah, I think now because Arsenal went so corporate and Spurs are so fucking snarky anyway.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's a perfect word for it.
And Millwall, for as much as you know, over the years there's been the rivalry and the rivalry. I think now there's almost like a grudging respect between the two because I think both clubs have been true to their roots.
Yeah.
And also they did a lot for Isla, didn't they?
They did. Yep.
So I think that's maybe sort of built a small bond.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, you're right, and we feel bad for them more than anything else. You know, I guess you'd say too. I mean, there's a little like, I don't know.
Yeah, we've been
so snarky that yes, we kind of have, you know, we empathize a little bit for them because they are, like you said, you know, they are true to their roots.
Yeah,
I mean,
very.
not necessarily, you know, the greatest club.
And of course, living and working this side of the river, I work with a lot of Millwall fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd rather spend time with them than any of the other lot from, you know,
I've heard that
London.
I've actually heard that before from West Ham fans that actually grew up down there, and you know, they said they've even been to Millwall matches before, and you know, they're not the worst. Wasn't the worst time, but I guess in the '80s it would have been, you know.
Oh God.
Name a player, past or present, that epitomizes West Ham.
Billy Bonds.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's usually either him or Bobby Moore, I hear, as a whole, you know, and we've heard Noble too, actually. I think it was Jack Collison that said Noble. But again, he played with them, so I think that's probably...
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah. Which player from West Ham's history would you bring back to play, like, say, today on the squad? If
what from their prime?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be Alan Devon.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we heard.
And he wasn't just a football player. The man was a magician.
Yeah.
He didn't play football. He created magic.
I feel the same way about Di Canio, though. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Devonshire maybe more so. I don't know. I think he created more magic, but like the magic that
I don't know. Maybe
on the same level. You know?
Yeah, and maybe because when I saw Devonshire play, I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I saw Di Canio playing, I was a grown up. So you know, my view of it may have been slightly different.
That's still a good one, man. If you found a time machine and traveled back to Bobby Moore's backyard and was sitting there, and he was sitting there having a cup of tea, what would you say to him? Put your tea down. We're going on a bender. That's a good one. Because he did like a drink, didn't he? Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah. And yeah, he liked to
Could you
socialize.
imagine? Could you imagine going out on a piss with Bobby Moore?
God almighty, and I think about that all the time. I think about that era, and I think about
Yeah,
going out with Lampard Senior
yeah,
or those boys, even the
yeah,
whole lot of them. I mean, that must have been crazy.
yeah.
Imagine being like someone like in the clubs at those times or the pubs at those times, like when they were all together out on the town. Man, that must have been insane. All right, so that's a wrap up for those questions. I know Wayne's gonna be pissed I didn't get through them the way he likes, but sorry, Wayne,
Yeah.
you weren't here. You had, good luck at your job, Wayne.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see if we have any more polls before we go, or any more people in the chat.
I just had a notification come up on my screen. JP is he's just firing up a video now, so he's going to be stealing your viewers.
Yeah, he's funny. So he's a funny guy. Yeah, he's interviewing. I think it says Charlie from Hammer's chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll wrap this up, and you guys can head on over to there. John's a good guy. I actually, gave him some pointers and stuff like that, and now he's flying with it, which is awesome. Good for him. Yeah, good for him.
Did you see the video that Gio put on there? Their mass debates.
Mass debate. Yeah, I like that idea.
And almost everything that people were saying, JP was disagreeing with.
Yeah, well,
yeah, that did make me laugh. That did.
That's part of the thing we discussed. He basically was just doing those videos that he normally would do, and he would just edit them. He wouldn't do them live. He didn't. At the time, he just didn't feel comfortable yet to interact with the people live. So I said, no, in order to get subscribers, like, look at us, we're flying. Like, we just got 600 subscribers yesterday, and we've only been doing this since the beginning of February. Like I don't count the deadline day episode, but anyway, so February, March, April, May, and we're in June, or actually July, so June. So 5 full months, and we have 600 subscribers. So anyway, I was giving him some pointers and some tips, because I was asking him for some technical tips, things that he's good at that I don't have. And yeah, he's been running with it. I said, you got to do live videos first and foremost, and because you need the live chats going. You need people to interact with, and it's really, really fun, because look, we have a blast with these guys. We mention every episode and so on. Also, I told him, like, listen, you got to cross promote. You got to get on other people's shows and vice versa. And so I had him on. He had me on. And Hammer's chat, vice versa. I mean, so yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. I'm glad to see him doing his thing, because I think he's almost up to 800 now. So that's good. So there's a race, like a gentleman's bet. I was joking around. I'm going to say this on air too, because it's not going to happen. But there was going to be a gentleman's bet. I even made like flyers for it and everything like that, called retirement match. That, like the WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call them, they would, have a wrestling match, and whichever wrestler lost would retire.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, the first one to 1,000 subscribers between the two of us, the other one shuts doors and then can help out the other person on the other person's channel. Like, completely shut your stuff down. And everybody else in American Hammers TV didn't like that idea. They're like, oh, no, you can't do that, because he's English and you're American, and all the English the listeners, they're all going to obviously defend they're going to back him. They're not going to back you. And I'm like, oh, man, you're probably right. Like, no, but they're friends of mine too. He's like, no, you don't understand. I think it was Wayne who said, no, you don't understand, man. They stick to their own. It's a losing battle. Like, I don't care how much they like you.
Fantastic.
Anything that is, yeah. So anyway, that was just a fun little idea. I like John. I wouldn't really do that, but it would be kind of fun to just, have something fun with that. But anyway, listen, Steve, it was a pleasure to meet you, my man. We got to talk about, let's talk more in the Discord app, or we can talk via, messages about the England trip and stuff like that, because we're really, really interested in meeting you. Also, everybody in the chat room today, if you're still here, would love to chat with you as well in the Discord app. Also, You know, thanks for being on there and putting up with just me today hosting. I do apologize because I'm used to others, you know, someone else here taking a lot of the words, and I usually just do a lot of the technical stuff on the side. So anyway, thanks for watching. Come on, you Irons.
Thank you very much.